High-tier bombers and strike fighters get the Nerf bat, top-tier fighters get advanced missiles out of the box, and battle ratings get the switch up. Let's get started. Good morning, I'm Old Dead Man, your host. We are starting right off with a big change coming from Gaijin. Battle rating updates and some changes to top tier. I'm on a tight schedule this morning, so we're going to keep this one simple. Let's get going. We got an Airspawn nerf for rank 6 and 7 bombers and strike aircraft in AirRB. Basically, they're saying that vehicles at these ranks tend to also be pretty darn close to their fighter counterparts, but then they have this huge advantage of a start right off the bat, either above or ahead of the airfield and in the air. They're removing that for rank 6 and 7 bombers and strike aircraft. I can totally see this. The A4E has been extremely common at these BRs, and yet it's basically a fighter with all the associated ordnance of a fighter and all the associated abilities of a fighter. It's just getting an air start instead. So for those that are trying to use those top tier aircraft to hit their bomb targets or whatever early in the game, you're going to have to think of something different to do, or cross your fingers that your team can keep you alive long enough to get there. Rank 7 planes are getting advanced missiles right out of the box now. That means that, how they have currently they have the 2 AIM-9B setups and the things like that on many of those top tier aircraft. Well, they're going to be juicing those up a little bit because they're really not competitive with those lower tier missiles. Even though I had a stream the other day where I got a couple of kills at top tier with AIM-9Bs. So and let's cut to the chase, that was pure luck. That's not normal for me. So the planes that are getting the extra oomph on this here, the US F-5E Tiger II, the F-4E Phantom II, and the F-80 Crusaders are getting AIM-9Es out of the box. Remember that you only get like the 2 missile setup for free, effectively. You'll still have to research the modification in order to be able to carry it in conjunction with ground ordnance or the larger loadouts. That's true of all these, so that's your one heads up on that. In Germany, the F4F Phantom II and the F4F Phantom II Early are getting AIM-9Es. The MiG-21 MF is getting R3Rs. And the MiG-21 BIS SAU and MiG-23 MF are both getting R13 M1s. Over in Russia, the MiG-21 SMT is getting R3Rs. The MiG-21 BIS, 23M, and 23MLD are all getting R13 M1s. In Britain, the Jaguar GR1A is getting AIM-9Gs. And Japan is getting their Phantom II F4EJ is getting AIM-9Es. China is getting a few changes here. Their F-104G Starfighter will get AIM-9Js. The F-5A Freedom Fighter will get AIM-9Es. And the J-7E will get PL-5Bs. Over in France, they'll be adding a loadout with AIM-9Bs and a Matra R530 to the Mirage 3C and the Mirage 3E. And the Mirage 5F is getting a setup with 2 Matra R550 Magic 1s. And it says, I believe, that the AIM-9Bs are going to be removed entirely. Down in Sweden, the J-35D Draken, the J-37C Jaktviggen, and the AJ-37 Vegan are all getting RB-24Js. And Israel's getting a little bit of a shift up there with getting a Shufrir and a Matra R530 loadout to their Mirage 3 CJ, and getting AIM-9Ds for their Nesher and Kafir C7. Now let's move on to the battle rating changes. I'm going to focus on the realistic changes, but here's a list of all the arcade changes while I get set up. Oh, let's get started. All right, the TBD1 is going from 1.3 to 1.0, along with the V156B1. The C200 Series 3, the German and Italian versions, the HE111H3, the SBD3, and the Key 43-1 are all going from 1.7 to 2.0. The F222.2 is going from 1.7 to 2.3, a bit of a surprise there. Key 43-2, the US and the Japanese versions, plus the Chinese I-153M62, the Russian I-153M62, the I-16 Type 18, the Hurricane Mark IV, the RE-2000 Series 1, the RE-2000GA, and the Potez 630 are all going from 2.0 to 2.3. In the 2.3 to 2.7 bracket, we have the Chinese Key 43-3 Co., and the C202, the German C202, the C202D, the Key 44-2 Otsu, the RE-2001 CB, the RE-2001 Series 1, and the RE-2001 Grupo 22, again, all from 2.3 to 2.7. The Beaufighter Mark I 40mm and the DO-217s N1 and N2 are all going from 3.0 to 2.7. The Key 61-1 Co is going from 2.7 to 3.0, along with the I-16 Type 28 and Type 27. The Key 44-2 High are going from 2.7 to 3.3, along with the Chinese version of the same. The Golyachev's Yak-9M, the RE-2001 CN, the C205 Series 1, the Key 61-1 Otsu, the Key 61-1B from the U.S. tree, and the Key 61-1 Otsu from the Chinese tree, and the B-18B and the B-34 are all going from 3.0 to 3.3. Kind of surprised on the B-34. P-51 and the ME-410 B-2U4 are going from 3.7 to 3.3. The J-22B is going from 4.0 to 3.7. The Yak-9K, ITP-M1, and the Key 100 are all going from 3.7 to 4.0. The TIS-MA is making a double jump from 3.7 to 4.3, entirely unsurprised. It's been well-deserved for a while. The C205 Series 3, A6M3 Mod 22 Co., the MB162 and the VB1002 are going from 4.3 to 4.7. The F4U4 is going from 5.0 to 4.7. Admittedly surprising, but not too surprising, because for some reason the 4 compared to the 4B really suffers a lot. The SU-6 M71F is also going from 5.0 to 4.7. Surprised there too, because it's surprisingly effective in ground RB. The TU-1 is going from 5.7 to 5.3. The RE-2005 Series 0 and the J5N1 are going from 5.3 to 5.7. And the F-89D is going from 7.7 to 7.3. Not surprised. The Key 200 is going from 8.3 to 8.7, and that gets a whole lot of why from me. I'm not sure why on that one. But let's move on to the ground vehicles. Over in the ground vehicles, we've got the Kachi moving from 1.7 to 2.0. The new 41M Turon 2, the AB-43, the Chiha Kai, and the Chinese version of the same, as well as the CCKW 353 M45 are all going from 2.0 to 2.3. The Chi-He, the Japanese M16, and the US M16, the B1 Tur and the M1542, along with the Sturv M41 S2, are all going from 2.3 to 2.7. The AC-1 and the T-126 are going from 2.7 to 3.0. The LVT 440 is going from 3.0 to 3.3. No surprise, deserves it. The Crusader AA Mark I is going from 3.7 to 3.3 and moves from rank 3 to rank 2 before the Mark II version. Okay. Then we got a series of German vehicles that go from 4.0 to 3.7. The Panzerbuffelswagen 4J is also going to stay at rank 3 compared to the 4J and the 4H, which both are dropping down and moving from rank 3 to rank 2. The SDKFZ 234-4 is going from 4.3 to 4.7, along with the Chi Nu 2. And the IKV 103 is going from 5.0 to 4.7 and dropping from rank 4 to rank 3. Doesn't surprise me with that drop in BR, but I thought it was more effective than that. For more rejoicing amongst those who are particularly determined to be mad, the R3T20 FAHS is moving from 4.7 to 5.0. And that's a surprise. It's effective against planes. It's only quasi-effective against tanks at that BR. It's getting into some serious armor at that point, but the Shermans are still quite vulnerable. The T-34-100 is going from 6.7 to 6.3. I don't think the armor supports it at 6.7, so okay. The Ferdinand and the T-44 both going from 6.3 to 6.7. The Bandkannon 1C and the Rattel 20 are both going from 7.0 to 6.7. Kind of surprised on the Bandkannon, but the Rattel doesn't surprise me at all. It really doesn't support a BR that high. In the 7.3 to 7.7 bracket, we've got the DF-105, the R3T-106FA, the USH-405, and the new PT-7657, which deserves it and should probably go up more. The 8.0 to 8.3 spots got the Type 87 RCV and the VIC-40. And the Big Light Panzer 57 goes from 8.3 to 8.7. Not surprised. The people have been getting awfully good at knocking planes out with that thing lately. The M247 goes from 8.7 to 9.0. The STRF 9040B goes from 9.0 to 9.3. The AGS and the VII A2 both go from 9.3 to 9.7. The LVKV 9040C goes from 9.7 to 10.0. And then a series goes from 10.3 to 10.7, including the HSTVL, the automatic, and the IPM1. The IPM1 is trading places with the M1A1. Let's move on to Naval. Now, over in the things that float, we got the HMS Leopard moving from 3.7 to 4.0. The VS-8 moving from 3.0 to 2.7. The HMS Haida going from 4.7 to 4.3. The Z-22 Anton Schmidt going from 4.7 to 4.3. The R-41 going from 1.3 to 1.0. The M802 from 3.3 to 3.7, along with the M17. So what do you think of the BR changes? Some surprises in there for me. Some of them I'm pretty shocked that they're moving, but not a lot. Most of them are ones that are very predictable, like that PT-7657. As soon as you get into high fire rate, decent penetration vehicles, they get a jump in capabilities in War Thunder, because you can just keep the damaging fire on target while you're waiting for the enemy to just explode. Really, that's what you're doing. You knock out barrels, you knock out tracks, and then you knock out the crew. So let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up. You have a great rest of your day, and we will see you in War Thunder.